Hello, everyone. My name is Britney Schultz, and I'm a product marketing manager here at Precisely. I'd like to welcome you to this session in the Outdated Tech Invisible Expenses series. And today we're going to be covering the hidden cost of poor data integration on the customer experience. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Today, organizations are facing mounting pressure to meet rising customer expectations. Consumers have a limited number of interactions with brands, meaning that it's crucial to maximize the value of each interaction. Even a single negative experience can significantly affect your customer base. About 17%, that's almost 1 in 5 of customers, will disengage after just one bad encounter. That figure actually rises to almost 60% after multiple negative experiences. And the cost of customer churn is steep. Acquiring new customers is typically more expensive than it is to retain the customers you already have. And losing engaged customers can end up costing your business twice as much, highlighting the importance of fostering strong, positive relationships. And customers can label their experiences as negative for various reasons, one of the most important of which is speed. Today's consumers expect real-time interactions and responses. Research shows that delays between a customer's initiation and confirmation of an action, for example, waiting to see your account information appear in a mobile app, can lead to a 20% drop in digital traffic, potentially resulting in losses of up to $400 million over time. And beyond quick response times, customers also anticipate personalized interactions with brands. So McKinsey reports that 71% of customers expect personalization and 76% feel frustrated if they don't receive it. This frustration can lead to customer churn, which, as we've already mentioned, can be costly for your business in several ways. So to deliver these real-time personalized experiences to your customers, you need several different types of data that could exist within your business. But just collecting and storing that customer data isn't enough. It's crucial to be able to access all disparate data that's living in your enterprise so that it can be delivered to customer channels, as well as be used in analytics and AI-driven customer applications. However, accessing all relevant data is much easier said than done. The reality of today's digital landscape is that your organization is managing data across a complex mix of cloud offerings, on-premises platforms, and mainframe or mid-range systems. And if you're not doing it already, you're planning too soon. Gartner found that 81% of respondents to their cloud end user behavioral survey use multiple clouds. And Microsoft found that 86% of respondents to their survey plan to increase spending on hybrid or multi-cloud infrastructure in the coming years. These hybrid multi-cloud environments present new opportunities and unique challenges for delivering superior customer experiences, meaning that it's even more crucial than ever, but also more difficult to achieve. So there's some hidden costs that can arise when you're trying to manage data across this complex digital landscape. For example, you have poor data quality. If your systems contain duplicate, inconsistent, or stale data, it's incredibly time-consuming for employees to verify and correct errors manually. Inaccurate data can undermine customer trust and lead to shipping, billing, and personalization errors, and it can take years to recapture lost customers and rebuild reputation. Then there are delayed insights. So the ability to identify emerging trends or changing consumer preferences can be the difference between your business innovating or being stagnant compared to the competition. Then there's shadow IT, and this is when business units can't necessarily get what they want from the official IT systems. They'll inevitably go off and create their own solutions. Shadow IT can be any software, hardware, or IT resources that are being used on an IT enterprise network without approval from the IT group. It often skirts compliance and security requirements and can create significant risks. Shadow IT also can lead to duplicate spending on tools, fragmented data, and inefficient processes. Even temporary workarounds can increase the burden on IT resources, creating things like technical debt, as systems require increasingly complex maintenance, resulting in cascading issues. And then let's talk a little bit more about this technical debt accumulation and what it means. So poor data integration can create silos, meaning inconsistent information is around across systems. When organizations implement quick fixes rather than addressing core architectural issues, it can result in complex, brittle data pipelines requiring excessive maintenance. This mounting debt manifests as delayed projects, higher costs, and reduced agility as teams spend more time managing these fragile systems than actually delivering on business value. So it's not always immediately obvious that integration can affect things like the customer experience, but ultimately, your limited data access does have a downstream impact. And what do these impacts tend to look like? Well, it can be added effort trying to extract that transactional data. It can be added effort trying to extract that transactional data. Then you have difficulty pushing that data to other systems like AWS, Confluent, or Snowflake. Then you have reliance on IT or third parties to manage APIs that call on these transactional systems. All of these things combine to create inconsistencies between customer channels, ultimately creating a disjointed customer experience. So let's see an example of how this outdated technology can manifest in the downstream customer experience. For example, we have ABC Retail Bank here. John Doe is a customer at this bank and wants to deposit a check at a branch ATM. John wants to see that transaction shortly thereafter in the mobile app, but cannot. He then calls the call center, and the agent at the call center not only can't see the updates in his account, but they also can't see any prior customer communications, meaning that John is on the phone with the call center for a long time, and he's getting even more frustrated. Ultimately now, John can't estimate, for example, available cash for purchases or other bill payments, meaning that he can't make decisions. And again, he's frustrated having to have interacted with ABC Bank multiple times and not gotten the desired result. This customer experience is suboptimal, and it means that John could consider switching banks. So now let's see what this example would look like if ABC Bank had real-time data delivery. John Doe deposits his check at a branch ATM. The real-time mainframe replication enables John to see the transaction shortly thereafter in both his mobile app and his online banking browser. John then receives a real-time customer communication via email that his check has been deposited. And the consistency across these customer channels facilitates John understanding of his account position, and now he can take appropriate actions. ABC has delivered an improved customer experience, tying together transactional data in near real time to the digital customer channels. So now that we have an example of how real-time data integration can positively impact the customer experience, let's see how that can be represented in dollars. Please note that this is a hypothetical example and that calculating ROI for your business can look different than the calculations we're about to do. So for this calculation, we'll see how real-time data access can increase customer retention and ultimately result in more revenue. We can make this calculation because the accessibility of real-time data makes these experiences better and helps you retain customers. So let's start with the number of retail banking customers. Let's say it's 200,000. Then the average fee and interest income per customer per year, let's say that's $1,000. You're going to want to multiply these two values together to get the total retail banking revenues of $200 million. Then you have the current customer attrition rate. We'll say it's 3%. And then you want to look at the percentage of lost customers that could be retained by improving data access and delivery speeds. So ultimately, this improved access can improve experiences such as seeing deposit transactions, improve mobile app, call center, and website experiences. So for the conservative value, we'll say that it's 5%, and the likely value, we'll say it's 7.5%. Then you'll want to multiply these last three values, so total retail banking revenues, current customer attrition rate, and percentage of lost customers that can be retained together to get the projected revenue from this higher customer retention. So for the conservative value, you'll see revenues of $300,000, and for the likely value, it's $450,000. As I mentioned before, these calculations can look different based on your organization. So in order to calculate the value of real-time data access and delivery, there are some other metrics you may want to include. First, there's direct cost savings. So you want to consider savings from reduced infrastructure, custom development, maintenance needs, and licensing. You may be saving things that are also coming from consolidating systems, reducing storage, and eliminating duplicate tools. Then there's increased revenue. So this is going to be improved customer insights, cross-selling, reduced time to market, and of course, new revenue streams can all increase profits. You have enhanced productivity. This is going to be time saved, and it may include hours of reclaimed time from manual data preparation, maintaining legacy integrations, faster decision making, and application delivery. Then there's the reduced business risk. So, to calculate risk reduction and to quantify the decreased risk of data breaches, data loss, compliance, penalties, business disruptions, and brand damage. Then there's increased ROI from time to value. So, this is going to be shorter time to value from faster implementation, reduced time to market, and more agile adaptation to shifting business needs. And finally, the churn rate and customer retention rates. And this is going to speak for all other customer related metrics. So things like net promoter score or NPS, customer satisfaction score, and first contact resolution. All of these things can heavily influence churn and retention rates. So they are things that you'll want to consider. And with that, I hope you're leaving the session with a better understanding of how real-time data integration can impact your customer's experience. If you found this session helpful, consider exploring additional resources that we precisely have around calculating data integration ROI. Thanks for listening and have a wonderful rest of your day.